Hi everyone, it's me Giovanni, and this is going to be my last video talking about the Little Mermaid live action movie. But I have a special guest. For the first time ever in my videos, I finally have a friend who's here with me. My friend, how do you say?
It's
Ima. So, I don't know if you can hear her. We're video chatting. My phone is like, sort of like, seconds, far away from me. It's not really that far, it's just, okay. So, here it goes. So, of course, I've been talking about these things, and I just wanted to talk about one more thing, but I also wanted to say that the Little Mermaid movie is actually good, despite its flaws. So, the main thing was that it turns out that I've seen on a TikTok video, that people were actually spamming hate comments about the movie, like trying to bomb it, like trying to make it low, make it like sink down, but it didn't. Especially with IMDb, where they knew about this situation and decided to put a warning about what was going on. So, and it turns out that people were also spamming hate comments on the trailer. So, it finally made sense, and when I heard about it, I was relieved about it. So, I was just...
I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, me too. It was so bad. So, anyways, there was also one thing where, if you people don't know, then the live action Ariel had her, was actually in the Disney parks for meet and greets. She actually had her counterpart in the Disney parks for the meet and greets. But I saw on Google an article that people thought that the meet and greets were disappointing because most of them were about her dress. About her dress! People were complaining about Halle Bailey, a black woman, playing Ariel, because they didn't think that Ariel would be black or something like that. They were being racist. People were saying about Ariel's hair not being red enough like the original, but now people were complaining about her dress. It just didn't make any sense to me. It was the most stupidest thing that I have ever heard in my entire life. So, about The Little Mermaid live action, it's good. It's a good movie, despite its flaws, and maybe some of the song changes, and maybe the songs themselves, and maybe, okay, there's flaws, especially with the songs, and maybe some of the actors didn't do a great job, but it was still a good movie, with Halle Bailey as Ariel, and Eros and Eric's relationship. It was actually pretty good. They had great chemistry, and I thought it was really sweet, especially since in the live action remake, Aaron had his own collection of things that he collected, similar to how Ariel had them. So it was like they were actually getting along and actually had stuff in common, unlike the original, but the original Ariel is still great. It's sure, Ariel left her family to have a pair of legs, all because she wanted to be with a guy she barely even knew, but she got along with him. She met him, got along with him, wanted to know about him, just anything. And
Yeah.
yes. So I don't know what was the problem with that, especially in the original. So one of the things that I also liked about the remake, even with Halle Bailey's acting, especially her singing voice, her beautiful singing voice. My God, she sounds like an absolute angel. Well, at least in my opinion. She embodies the character. She was almost born to play this role because she loved Ariel when she was a kid. So, and the director chose her because of her voice. That was all. And I feel like he knew what he was doing. So Halle Bailey was perfect. She was born to play that role. And not only she embodied the character of Ariel, she embodied a Disney princess, which none of the live-action princesses did. And I feel like those were one of the reasons why her live-action counterpart was in the Disney parks when the movie was released in theaters on May 26th. So, the other things that I like about the remake was Jodie Benson, who cameos in the film. She was the original voice of Ariel in the original film, by the way. She cameoed as a merchant, giving Halle Bailey's Ariel a fork, and I think it was sort of symbolic of how she was passing the torch, or should I say fork, to the new Ariel, which was really sweet. And at least it did give us a dingle hopper scene-ish. I mean, it did. And it turns out that in the song Kiss the Girl, it involves consent, unlike the original film. And I feel like in the original film, Ariel just wanted to kiss Eric to make sure that the curse was broken, to make sure that she would have her voice, but equally have her legs. So she would still be with Eric, but be able to talk again, which I thought was fair. But in the remake, she's actually wanting his consent, which I think is great. I mean, in the remake, she didn't fall in love with him, and that wasn't the reason why she didn't want to be on land. It's because she was curious about the human world. So that was nice.
Dear Mommy.
Yes?
I think, after when you, talked about all this, things, do you want to talk about, how Riff is living in the same state as you?
No. We already talked about that. We're not going to talk about it in this video since I'm recording it. You know that I'm recording, right? I'm recording a video.
Oh, yes, sorry.
That you're in. That you're basically hearing me. So, anyways, so one of the things that people, aside from Halle Bailey as Ariel and Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, even though some people would think that Melissa's version of Ursula, her acting was boring or not good, but I digress. It's just a movie. Some people acting might not be good, but they're great actors, and they might sing. They might be great at singing, and in the interviews, especially when people were talking about it, Melissa McCarthy, to them, she straight up took that role and embraced it, especially with Halle Bailey as Ariel. So I don't see what the problem is with that. Even though some of the flaws are just panned out, which I can understand, but still, it's just a movie. It's not. Yes, some movies are terrible, especially some of the live-action Disney movies. Well, most of them nowadays, but some of them aren't bad, and some of them are good, but some of them are bad, but they're just okay. Like Aladdin, Lady and the Tramp, Beauty and the Beast, and Cruella and Dumbo. But the worst live-action remakes that I can think of are The Lion King and Pinocchio. That's it. The good live-action remakes are 101 Dalmatians, including its sequel, 102 Dalmatians, Maleficent, not including its sequel Maleficent 2, because that sequel was unnecessary, and Cinderella, and Halle Bailey's The Little Mermaid would be up there on the good remake tier list, or something like that. So one of the other things that I like was Vanessa. The actress who played her killed the role where people said she did, and she did. She actually did. She did, like the other actresses who played the roles, especially Halle Bailey, of course. I mean, of course, people mostly talk about Halle Bailey as Ariel, so I'm not really surprised. But I'm still going to talk about it because that's just me. So, during Vanessa's and Eric's engagement, where Vanessa, of course, has Ariel's voice, Ariel comes to the ship to have a catfight with Vanessa, and I love it. I love it. I think it's a little bit better than the original, in my opinion, because Ariel gets to actually fight Ursula or Vanessa by tackling her. Sure, she also tried to fight back against Ursula in the original, but I thought the catfight worked too as well. So that was good. So it turns out that people were spamming hate comments because they hate the movie for no reason. And I said in my last video that they're white trash. Those people who hate the live-action remake for no reason, especially if people love it, despite their flaws, are white trash. They're spamming white trash jerks. And it upsets me. And my friend who I talked to on DeviantArt, he said that he heard enough of what I said. And if he's had enough, then fine. But I'm doing this just to let him know for the last time, because he doesn't know it's that good. He doesn't know. He doesn't know everything about it. He doesn't know every single little detail about it. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but still. He noticed, he knew that I was upset about it because I was disappointed in him, but he was still it's almost like people were ignorant about the remake, and I wasn't sure why. I mean, sure, if people like the original and want to stick with it, then that's fine. Just don't be a jerk about it, please. It's a good movie. It's an actual good movie. Unlike the other live-action remakes, it's an actual good movie, similar to Cinderella, similar to 101 Dalmatians, similar to Maleficent. It's an actual good movie, despite its flaws. And since I realized that people were spamming hate comments about it, especially the trailer, trying to like lower it down,
I know, I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
Yes, like we said earlier in this video. So yeah, people are crazy. People don't know any better. And my friend didn't know any better either, at least in my opinion. He probably doesn't care. Even though he was trying to be nice about it, it just seemed like he just kept on upsetting me, disappointing me. Sure, he wants to stick with the original, and that's fine, but I just don't want people to be jerks about it. And he should have kept this to himself instead of posting it about it and just people just saying that they don't like it or that they don't like Halle Bailey as Ariel. That's not okay. That's not okay. If you're not going to watch it, then don't be a jerk about it. Do not hate it for no reason. Just try to ignore it. Just move on. Watch the original instead if you want to. Halle Bailey was good. The movie's good. The actors were good. everything was good despite its flaws.